Hello, folks, and welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. South Africa's favorite red Teletubbies are at it again. An article that appeared today in the city press titled, "AfriForum's Lawn Mowing in Tshwane is Racist," says the EFF. Now, the city of Tshwane's new MMC for Environmental Affairs and Agriculture, Obakeng Arama-Bodu, said that he does not want AfriForum to help the Metropolitan Council with service delivery issues. Rapport, the Afrikaans publication, spoke to the EFF's chief whip in Tshwane, Godwin Ratakwane. Now, before we get to Godwin, you remember Obakeng Arama-Bodu, the councillor who shouted racist threats at minority members of the Tshwane Municipal Council, yelling, "I want to moor a boar! I want the blood of an Afrikaner on my hands!" Remember that guy? Yeah, the same Arama-Bodu who, after calling for murder in a government meeting while serving in government, was not even taken to court by the captured South African Human Rights Commission, despite his racially charged hate speech. Anyway, let's hear what the latest never achieved anything in life red Teletubby has to say about mowing lawns after calling AfriForum racist. Now, Rapport asked, "Why do you say they're racist?" His response, "That organization is a home for racists. It's the creme de la creme. They've proven themselves over and over. They will defend anything that looks white." Defending white folks. Well, Godwin, you defend black folks. Are you also a racist, Godwin? Please explain. Asked the question, why can't AfriForum mow lawns in their neighborhoods? His response, the new government in Tshwane has every right to review the management of the city. The EFF wants to review the memorandum of understanding between the city and AfriForum because it's not just about mowing lawns. Really? What is it about? This is how apartheid worked. Of course. Cutting grass is about apartheid. Separate development. Sure. Okay, let's continue. They don't say it, but they want to offer these services only where AfriForum members, the white community, live. It lies on the thin line of racism. We do not support anything that favors minority interest. Well, how will mowing lawns favor minority interests, Rapport asked. Suppose AfriForum decides tomorrow that crime levels are too high in their neighborhoods and they start catching people left and right. Moreover, there should have been a public participation process. Well, Godwin, crime levels are too high. And a public participation process for what? There's no public expenditure. AfriForum is not in any way representing the city itself in any capacity. But I think I know what's going on here. And let me ask Godwin this question. Are you bumhurt that your Teletubbies do not get the opportunity to toy racist bile, sing violent racist songs, or intimidate residents at a public meeting? Is that what's in play here? So Rapport says, how is mowing lawns racist? AfriForum is racist. Folks, notice how low IQ leftists always resort to deflection when asked a simple question that they cannot answer. It's kind of like asking Kamala Harris a question. Madam Vice President, you've been the Vice President for 3.5 years, and people say that you've made no change during this time. How can they trust you to make change? Let me be perfectly clear, Brett. Donald Trump has been running for 10 years. Let me be perfectly clear. The EFF has nothing. That's why they call AfriForum racist. Folks, even if AfriForum were a racist organization, which it isn't, this man's idiotic response does not answer the question. Even most of what genuine racists do is not racial or racist. So he wants to know why, they ask. And Godwin says, they do not cater to black people. Lawn mowing is just part of what they do. They want to promote white minorities. If we allow them, they will later not want to pay for service delivery because they say they are self-sufficient. Isn't that ironic? The overwhelming majority of people who pay for service delivery in South Africa are actually white on a percentage basis. And on a numerical basis, they're probably the largest group of people in South Africa actually pay for service delivery. It's black South Africans, by and large, who do not pay for service delivery, who get it for free, or who steal it. And he's using racist language to attack a white minority. Wow, this is just crazy. No, mowing is not the only thing that they do. AfriForum also provides community safety patrols in mixed white, black, and Indian communities. And I know firsthand, having participated in their patrols in Zeerust. Now, they don't differentiate between black and white and brown and blue, but they provide these patrols as a deterrent to discourage criminals from home invasion, murder, rape, assault. And if any of those things occur while these patrols are happening, or someone rushes out to ask for help from one of these patrols, they don't make a differentiation between black, white, or brown. They patrol all the communities in Zeerust. I know. I've been there. I've seen it. I've participated in it. Calling them racist is, in fact, racist itself. So they want to promote white minorities. That makes them racist? How so, Godwin? I mean, I promote Tshwane and Sesotho minorities. Is that racist? Because I'm promoting black minorities? Does that make me a black supremacist, Godwin? Now, Rapport says, aren't they just a civil rights organization looking after their members? He says they protect their privilege of being white and to feel like white people and feel superior and maintain that image that a white man is better than a black man. That is their whole goal. That's their goal, really? Really? That's not what their website says. That's not been my personal experience. But anyway, the privilege of being white, what privilege is that exactly? The privilege of being insulted, called names, threatened by the likes of a race-hustling loser, sucking his salary off the taxpayer? That hardly sounds like a privilege. It sounds much more like a burden. And maintain the image that a white man is better than a black man by doing manual labor? That's completely the opposite of the image of apartheid and segregation and enrichment of white folks. White folks doing manual labor. Oh, yeah, that's racist. What a dumbass. By beautifying the community, that's maintaining the image of a white man. What? So black communities can't keep their streets clean? Are you saying black people are dirty? Are you saying black people are lazy, Godwin? Do you realize the stupidity coming out of your mouth? Okay. If you insist, Godwin, I suppose a white man showing up a lazy black EFF caterer could harm your psyche. Now, Rapport says, do you have any evidence that AfriForum is racist? Go read their website, what they stand for. These people always use the term self-determination, the idea that they only see themselves as an Afrikaner community. If they're really so concerned about mowing lawns or cleaning streets, let them go do it in Soshanguve or Hammanskraal, where the black people live, and show us they can rise above it. Well, that's not the only place the black people live. They also live in Hatfield, Brooklyn, and many other places throughout Tshwane, but we'll leave it at that. Yes, go read the AfriForum website. See the truth, not this gentleman's lies. The United Nations Charter explicitly protects the right to self-determination. South Africa is a founding member of the United Nations and signed this charter. United Nations Charter, Article 1, Section 2 states the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples is a core purpose of the United Nations. This principle is a prerequisite for the full enjoyment of fundamental human rights. And as far as black townships, I've been to Soshanguve and Hammanskraal many times, especially Soshanguve, where black people live. What is your point, Godwin? When white folks tried to take food to those communities in need during the lockdown, SAPs threatened to arrest them and confiscate the food parcels. And we know where they wound up, in the hands of ANC caterers. But nothing prevents the residents of Soshanguve from doing it in their neighborhood too, says Rapport. To which Godwin says, the fundamental difference is the people of Soshanguve are not racist. So you know them all? You've met everyone in Soshanguve. There's not a single racist there? Oh, please. What a moron. What an idiot. I'm looking forward to his response. So the next question was, how do you know that, from Rapport? Godwin says they do not group themselves according to race. AfriForum operates as a race-based organization. Well, first off, that's not true. Do a little research, lazy boy. They don't group themselves according to race? So it's just an accident that only black folks move into those areas. And his definition of racism is not even remotely correct. Racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. What he's doing to AfriForum and white folks is actually racist. Or the belief that different races possess distinct characteristics, abilities, or qualities, especially so as to distinguish them as inferior or superior to one another. Now, folks, seeking to be around the like is a very human behavior. It's not racist. It's natural. As humans, we do not normally abandon our homes and hearth to join a group with different cultural values and norms just on a whim. Whether Zulu, Tswana, San, or Afrikaner, one can reside and hang out with their own community. It is not racist. It is human. And the Red Teletubbies, all they know is racist bile. That's all they do. They constantly deflect from failures. This gentleman's collecting his salary, and what is he doing? Nothing, except destroying the social cohesion of South Africa with his racist bile. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. What say you, folks? Cheers.